My sister invited the entire town, even a dog, to her wedding but forgot me. One text exposed the truth, so I pulled the plug on the $13,500 wedding budget. Hey everyone. Before we kick off today's video, I've got a favor to ask. We've noticed our channel isn't getting as much love lately, and subscribing is one of the easiest ways you can help us out. It's quick, free, and it means we can keep bringing you awesome content. Your support really means a lot, so let's work together to keep this channel growing. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's dive into the video. So, get this, I wasn't even invited to my sister's wedding. Crazy, right? I mean, I literally heard my mom say, "You to the wedding?" Don't be ridiculous, while she was busy stirring something on the stove, not even giving me a glance. She figured I wouldn't want to go anyway. It was early, like 7:04 a.m., and I was there at my mom's place with my usual Friday coffee delivery, been doing that every week for the last 5 years. I didn't push for an explanation, just quietly helped out as usual. Then she hit me with, "Didn't you once say weddings are just overpriced parties?" Like no, I definitely didn't say that. Here's the kicker, I actually gave Alina $13,500 over a few months to help with the venue, flowers, and even a down payment on her dress. But somehow, the neighbor's dog got an invite and I didn't. Mom tried to brush it off like a mix-up in a quieter tone. I didn't bother saying anything, just walked out of the kitchen, already plotting my next move. An hour later, sitting in my car, our family group chat was blowing up. Lena had left a message, "The dog's a better guest than him." That stung. I just replied with a nice and then dove into my bank app. I froze the wedding fund, canceled payments to the caterer, flagged the florist deposit for review, and alerted the venue about a potential fraud. I had my name on all the accounts. Then, I rounded up all the proof, every transfer, every contract, every screenshot, and headed to City Hall. If I wasn't going to be on the guest list, fine, but I wouldn't be part of the ceremony either. Let them try to pull off a wedding without the funds I provided. For years, they saw me more as a cash machine than family. I was like the Wi-Fi or plumbing, just expected to function without, thanks. I was the one who got a stable job and never moved back home after college. But somewhere along the line, being reliable turned into being everyone's go-to for anything they needed. Lena leaned on that more than anyone else. It started off with little things. She didn't cancel her gym membership for ages, which I was covering, then forgot to pay her apartment lease, so I helped for what was supposed to be a month, but turned into 7. Same story with her car loan and her half of mom's dental work. Each time she'd promise, "I'll pay you back when I can," but I never saw, or expected, the money. Dad would jokingly call me the family investor, and Mom would say, "You're such a blessing," right before asking for more help. Lena knew exactly how to tug at the guilt strings with her voice messages about stress and problems only I could solve. I had 27 of those saved, counted them. But the wedding fiasco, that was the last straw. It wasn't just about the cash, it was about humiliation. I waited for someone to reach out and explain after I put the brakes on the wedding funds, but nope. Instead, I saw my mom's Facebook post with Lena in her wedding dress, holding a champagne glass, captioned, "So proud of our girl. She's doing it all on her own." Yeah right, doing it with whose money? The worst part was the video in the group chat, Lena spinning in her dress, having a blast, and her text, "Can't wait for the big day." Shame some people rather stay bitter. I just commented, "You're welcome." Later, I got a text from some unknown number, "Can we talk?" It was Josh, looking like he hadn't slept for days. He admitted Lena had told him the money was from a family friend and that he thought her parents were footing the bill. I kept quiet and let him see the paperwork. He was stunned. "She lied to me," he said. He even showed me messages from a group chat called Bride Squad. Lena had written, "If my brother shows up, I'll get security. He thinks because he sent money, he gets to be part of things, pathetic." The bridesmaids joined in with their comments. Josh was just as shocked as I was. So, this is how it went down. I totally believed him because he was so shocked he had to be honest. As he was about to leave, he hesitated and said, "You don't deserve this. They're making you the bad guy in some story you funded." As he walked out, it hit me, they never expected me to fight back. They thought I'd just watch the wedding on my phone from afar, like a sad little spectator, maybe send a toaster as a gift. They had no idea I was prepared. No clue that I had a whole folder ready to go. I was done playing nice. The barn was ridiculously warm, like, uncomfortably warm. Fairy lights sparkled everywhere and mason jars with eucalyptus branches made it look all charming and Instagram-worthy. It was exactly the type of dream wedding Lena always wanted, rustic and picture perfect. Too bad she didn't foot the bill. The rehearsal dinner was buzzing when I showed up. No invite, no problem, I had literal receipts. I stood at the entrance for a whole minute before anyone even noticed I was there. Glasses clinked, a girl in a beige satin dress was bawling because her hem got stepped on, and someone's cousin was in a heated debate about shrimp allergies. The DJ was busy testing out his playlist. It was all so perfect on the surface, like every other expensive scam. Then Lena saw me. Her smile faltered, just a bit. She stood up, napkin still draped on her lap, and walked toward me with clenched teeth, asking, "What are you doing here?" I told her I brought a gift and gave the flash drive in my pocket a little tap. She turned ghostly pale. "No, don't. You're not doing this here," she hissed. I said, "You didn't want me at your wedding, but you were fine using my money to pay for it." I headed over to the AV table. The slides guy shot me a questioning look. I shrugged, "I'm the brother, and now it's my turn." The lights dimmed, the music stopped. A few tipsy guests booed, thinking it was part of the evening's entertainment. But then the first slide hit the screen. This wedding was built on lies. Just like that, the room went silent. A few people laughed, but quickly stopped as the next slide popped up and hit hard. There were screenshots of my bank transfers, Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. Credit card bills listed payments for address deposit, $1,800, DJ advance, $900, venue booking, $4,200, and more, totaling $13,978 with my name all over them. Murmurs spread through the room like wildfire, you could feel the shift. Slide 3 revealed chat messages from Lena's bride squad. Lena claimed, "He thinks he gets a seat at the table just because he threw some money at it." News flash, I didn't invite a debit card. Bridesmaids chimed in with their own snarky comments. The audio clip was next, Lena's voice from a voicemail all sweet, "Seriously, you're saving this wedding. You're the best. Don't tell anyone I said that, though. Got to keep the image intact." The room froze. You could hear a spoon clink into a wine glass in the silence. My dad stood up, voice booming, "Turn that off." I turned to him, totally calm, "Why? Don't you like your investment update?" He took a step toward me, enraged. "You think this is funny?" he demanded. "I think it's justice. You stole my spot, now I'm taking the stage." Slide 4 played my mom's voice from a call explaining why I wasn't invited. "It's not about you. Lena just didn't want you in the photos." Honestly, I agree. The silence shattered, Denise hid her face, shocked, while cousin Jake muttered a Jesus. Stepping forward, I began, "For years, I paid quietly, no questions asked, dentist bills, car repairs, Lena's credit card debt, mom's utilities, dad's vacation gaps. Not a peep from me." Slide 5 showed photos of receipts and notes from Lena. "Thanks again. You're literally a hero. Saving my life right now. FR. You're the only one I trust." I stopped for a moment, scanning the room. "You didn't just forget to invite me. You erased me. Replaced me with a dog." Someone chuckled awkwardly from the back, but then it was silent again. That's when Josh, the groom-to-be, stood looking crushed. "You said he didn't want to come," he told Lena. "You said he threatened you." She opened her mouth, then shut it, speechless. He turned to me, confused. "She told me you weren't involved at all." I nodded at the screen. She also told her bridesmaids I was pathetic and I'd send a gift anyway. "Want a replay?" Josh turned back to Lena. "I don't even know who I'm marrying," he said, pulling off his ring and placing it on the table, centering it on the seating chart. "I'm out." Gasp, screams, someone dropped a wine glass, and the barn buzzed with a nervous, electric tension. Mom stood there, speechless. Right in the middle of it all, she tried to grab Josh's arm and said, "Josh, come on, don't do this. It's just a fight." But Josh wasn't having it. He turned back and said, "No, it's more than that, it's a fraud." And then he stormed out. A bunch of the bridal party decided to follow him. Even the DJ got in on the action and unplugged his laptop, leaving the whole place in silence and darkness. Dad was left standing there, visibly shaking with anger. He spat out, "You're not family, you're a virus." I looked him straight in the eye and gave him a small, fierce smile. "No," I said calmly, "I'm the antivirus." Then I walked out too, not in a hurry or anything, just calm and collected, like someone coolly exiting a burning building but with the metaphorical match still in hand. Behind me, I could hear the chaos erupting, chairs scraping, people arguing, someone sobbing, and a bridesmaid freaking out about how it was all a mess now. But I never looked back. I wasn't even supposed to be there, but I knew they'd never forget me after that. Walking out felt momentous, Like leaving behind a place that was never meant for me. There were no pleas, no cries, nothing but the sound of a chair falling over and Lena sobbing like her whole world had just shattered. Perfect. I didn't drive home, I just drove forward into whatever came next. The next morning, I woke up at exactly 7:13 a.m. No alarm clock, no stress. I made myself a cup of coffee and sat by the window, waiting for the backlash to hit. And sure enough, by 8:42 a.m., my phone lit up like crazy, 24 missed calls, including several from mom and dad. Lena, of course, was buzzing my phone too. The first message was from mom, all tearful and panicked, crying not out of heartbreak but more from losing her grip. Why would you do this to us? This was your sister's big day, the one I funded, she cried. The next was from dad, but his tone was more of a roar than a whimper. You've made your point. Are you happy now? You ruined everything. That one actually made me chuckle because, honestly, I hadn't ruined anything, I just hit pause on the lies they'd been spinning for years. Lena didn't leave voicemails, she went the text route instead, calling me a monster and accusing me of making her look insane. Do you even care how this makes you look? She asked. Oh, I cared all right, but I wasn't finished yet. That afternoon, I opened this folder I'd been putting together since Lena first asked me to co-sign a loan for emergency vet bills, only to blow the cash on a Vegas trip instead. Inside were screenshots of every money transfer, messages where she lied, voicemails, texts from mom begging for help for Lena's so-called mental health, and bank statements showing my name attached to every major wedding vendor. Even an old email from dad, telling me to stop being such a girl about money and just help your sister, that's what sons do. So, I turned it all into a neat PDF and titled it The Price of Family. I posted it without fanfare, just a straightforward upload to Facebook for everyone to see. Then I logged off, leaving the internet to do its thing. By the next day, my post had exploded, over 18,000 views, 300 comments, and DMs from people I hadn't heard from in ages. A classmate reached out, saying, "Wow, your story really spoke to me. Thanks for saying what needed to be said." A cousin I hadn't seen since high school wrote, "They did the same to me, but I could never prove it." No need for me to reply, I'd said what I needed to. That night, the DJ from the wedding messaged me. He'd seen my post and refunded me, saying he wanted no part in any of this drama. Then the photographer reached out, contemplating backing out of her contract with Lena, saying the wedding vibes had turned toxic. Vendors started pulling out one by one, even the cake company bailed, and I didn't have to lift a finger. 3 days later, there was a knock on my door. I didn't answer but peeked through the peephole. There was Dad, standing there for a good 5 minutes, not knocking again, just standing there. Then he left a letter. It wasn't an apology, just an offer. "Okay, you've had your say. Let's just put this behind us. Maybe you can even come to the rescheduled wedding." I stared at the letter for a while. He seriously thought this was about getting a seat at their table again. But I wasn't interested in that, I wanted the whole table to burn. That night, I uploaded another post, this time with videos. Clips from old family dinners where the jokes were always at my expense, a birthday where Lena got a cake and I got a lecture, and a voice recording from a car ride where Dad told me, "No one needs a martyr. Either help or get out of the way." I wrapped it up with this isn't just about a wedding. It's about a life, a pattern, a family that only calls when your wallet's open. You don't owe loyalty to people who demand your silence. So, you know how sometimes people throw around the word betrayal when they don't get their way? Well, whatever. Let them think that. By the next morning, my post had gone totally viral. I was suddenly in demand. 2 podcasts reached out, wanting me as a guest, and there was this subreddit that blew up with a thread about it, 3,000 comments and counting. People were tagging wedding planners, therapists, and financial advisors. My story? It wasn't just mine anymore. It belonged to everybody who related to it. And that's when Lena just lost it. She went full drama queen on Instagram with this long, 7-minute story. She was crying her eyes out, no filters, no fancy angles. She accused me of being manipulative and said I was using my past to hurt a woman just for not inviting her brother to a wedding. Her big finish? He's just bitter. Always wanted to be the favorite. It's just jealousy. But nobody was falling for it. One person commented, "You're crying in a $1,200 dress he paid for. Maybe sit this one out." Another added, "Girl, he literally has receipts. You have emojis." And just like that, Lena's pity party was over. She ended up locking her account. Then came a text from mom, "I don't know what you think this will accomplish. Families fight, but we forgive. That's what matters." I wanted to fire back, "No, What matters is truth and consequences. But I left it on read. I was busy with new plans. It's been 6 weeks since I ditched the fairy tale. 6 weeks since I tossed a decade of guilt, obligation, and silence into the fire. And guess what? Nothing terrible happened. The world didn't end. I didn't spontaneously combust. No one dragged me back to the role I was stuck playing. Instead, I found peace. No more guilt-trippy voicemails. No more "can you just help with this" money requests. No more group chats where my value was only measured by my wallet. Just glorious quiet. And I feel more complete than ever. I smoothly transitioned to a new city and a smaller, but all mine, place. No forwarding address, no welcome mat. Just a little doorbell sticker saying, "Not available for emotional labor." I meant it. I finally launched the digital consultancy I'd been planning on the down low for over a year. It's clean, precise, and making money, exactly for me. I work solo, pick my clients, and no longer bankroll anyone's fantasies except my own. A week after going live with the business, I made a public post. Not to get back at anyone, just to reclaim my own narrative. I used to think staying quiet was loyalty. Now I know, loyalty without respect is just servitude. I'm done serving. The post blew up again, even snagging attention from some small business blogs. One of them had this killer headline: "The wedding that exposed a family and built a brand." Classic. And then there was Lena, trying to spin the situation. She posted some vague stories about outgrowing toxicity and losing people as you grow, but no one was buying it. Her follower count took a nosedive, and her podcast was stuck at 43 listeners, with the comments turned off. Then Josh slid into my messages 2 weeks after it all went down with a simple, "You saved me." I didn't reply. No need. Some truths hit harder in silence. A while later, my aunt, the only one who ever kinda had my back during family gatherings, reached out. "I just want you to know some of us saw it. We just didn't know how to help." A little too late for that, but I screenshotted it and filed it away in a folder I named "Recognition is not equal to re-entry." That's my new policy because, believe me, they'll try. They always do. They'll test the waters with a tag on an old pic, a like on a new business post, or a "week so proud of you" comment. Acting like nothing happened. Like the knife never twisted. But I've changed the locks. Digitally, emotionally, permanently. The number they all had is gone. I didn't just block them, I erased the entire line. No access at all. Replaced it with a new phone, new number, just one contact saved, me. One day, I passed by a print shop and thought, why not? So, I had them make a sign. Black background, white letters, glossy finish. I hung it outside my new little office. It reads, "Funded by the Forgotten." A bit of a private joke and a public dig. Sure, they forgot me, but I remembered everything. And I turned it into something real. Out of all the voicemails, the erasers, the gaslighting, the overused family guilt trips, I found clarity, purpose, and the one thing they can't take, autonomy. I didn't ask for forgiveness. Didn't seek closure. I became those things. So, if you're reading this and find yourself bearing the weight of everyone else while being called selfish, here's my advice: you don't owe anyone your own destruction to make them feel better. Some people only love you when you're useful. Burn the bridge if you need to, then build a new one for yourself with stronger steel. I wasn't invited, but now I'm the owner of the venue.